Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. So we've been having this conversation over the last 2 weeks or so about LeBron James and his All-Star and in the All-Star game. The first returns of the All-Star voting came back, and LeBron received the 9th most votes of all of the people that were voted, right? And this created a big conversation. Is LeBron going to be an All-Star this year? Blah, 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 blah. Then you had certain people like Draymond Green and others. Oh, LeBron should be voted in. No, the NBA should do whatever they can to make sure LeBron gets voted into the All-Star, get plays in the All-Star game. And I'm like, yo, hold on a second. Was it not last year where LeBron gave the All-Star game in the NBA the biggest middle finger? Did we forget that? What happened last year's All-Star game? Last year, LeBron shows up at the All-Star weekend on the day of the game in street clothes and informs the media that day that he was not going to be playing. He didn't give the league any notice prior to nothing. Screwed over any other player that would have had that reserve spot. He did that. Then he goes out to the game, sits in the first quarter, second quarter, and then walks out. Then they're taking team pictures. He didn't even bother to wear the uniform to take the team picture. And everybody was like, this is a slap in the face of the NBA. So you're talking about the same dude that didn't even give a damn about the All-Star game last year, a dude that didn't even give a damn about participating in the slam dunk contest, a dude that, according to reports, basically after Larry Bird came and spoke to those guys to go out here and try to put out an effort 2 years ago, gave a side eye to the entire locker room, and they put on one of the most disgraceful All-Star game in the history of basketball. You're now talking about the NBA needs to find a way to put him on the team. No. LeBron has 150 million followers on Instagram, 50 million on Twitter. If you guys want him in the All-Star game, vote him in. Vote him in. All we've been doing over the last year and a half, oh man, LeBron, man, he out here, bro. What's going to happen to the NBA, man? LeBron, the channels are going to die. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. The NBA season started, and what happened? We witnessed the ratings go up without him. Then we shut that entire conversation down, right? So then what happened? Was it today? I opened up my phone and I came across a post from NBA's Instagram. And it actually revealed the new All-Star, the second batch of All-Star vote return for both the East and the West. And would you believe it? LeBron received the 8th most votes. And I want to get into the breakdown of the various votes from from each conference. So let's start off with the Eastern Conference. Okay. It says the final East returns for NBA All-Star 2026. And we want to put the image up for you guys here. So in number one, you have Giannis Antetokounmpo with 2,092,000 votes. Jalen Brunson at number 2. Tyrese Maxey at number 3. Cade Cunningham at number 4. Donovan Mitchell at number 5 with 1.5 million votes. Jaylen Brown at number 6 with 1.5 million votes, slightly a little bit less. And then after that, the list begins to taper off. Looking at the Eastern Conference, man, they have a lot of guards in their top 5. The only person I'm seeing out of there was Giannis Antetokounmpo, so you have him, right? Then if you look at the West, you have Luka Doncic at number 1, of course, because he has the most votes overall, being the new player that just signed with the Los Angeles Lakers. So you have him there as well. So you have Luka Doncic at number 1. Then you have Nikola Jokic at number 2 with 2 million votes, just under 2 million votes. Stephen Curry at number 3, 1.8 million. SGA, 1.5 million. Victor Wembanyama, 1.3 million. Anthony Edwards, 1.2 million. Who else we got? Danny Avia. Man, I got to get his name right. I can't pronounce this guy's name. 1.1 million. And LeBron James with 1 million votes here. And then the other day on the Lakers account, they put up a story where they essentially showed that LeBron James is number 8 in total votes received. So there are 8 players ahead of LeBron. And if things stand the way that they are, LeBron is going to be voted as a reserve to come off the bench. If things stand the way that they currently are trending, LeBron will be a reserve, at the very least, a reserve coming off the bench. What does this say? To me, this is a clear indication of maybe oversaturation. LeBron has been around for 23 years. And when he was at the peak of his powers and his popularity, he certainly got the votes and all of that. But I think what you're also witnessing is just overstaying your welcome a little bit too much. They've seen you, right? What we're seeing this year is not much different than what we saw last year or the year prior. This is why it's important to ask yourself, why am I still here? What we're seeing this year isn't far off from what we saw the year before. But for as much as LeBron is promoted, he's the GOAT and all this, and the way with the advent of social media, I'm surprised. Because some of these guys that are on this list have missed time. I give you an example of this. Nikola Jokic, he's injured. He's still getting votes. Nikola Jokic is injured. Stephen Curry, I believe, has missed some time this season. He's getting votes. There isn't any player that's played all the games. Another thing that stands out to me is that Stephen Curry almost has twice the votes of LeBron, almost has as many votes as LeBron and Kevin Durant combined. Stephen Curry is sitting at 1.844 million votes, while LeBron is at 1,059,000 and Kevin Durant is at 900. So Stephen Curry, according to the fans, is almost twice as popular as these guys in terms of all-star voting. But also we have to factor in the fact of the things that LeBron has been doing in these all-star games over the last few years. We've seen it, bro. We've witnessed some of the most disgraceful exhibition games in NBA history. LeBron has been there. So voting him in this year, right? Voting him in this year, are we to expect something else, something different? Now, if LeBron had been putting on the show and really galvanizing players to put forth an effort the way Kobe Bryant used to do and make the games competitive and make it something actually worth watching, then yeah, I would be one of the people clamoring to say, man, we got to have him in here. We got to have him in there. Or if he had announced that, hey, man, this is going to be my last year, then fine, get him in the game. But just to vote him in? Nah, man, the fans have spoken. The fans have spoken. If they want to change the results, the fans should go out there and vote otherwise. They should vote, right? In the case of Michael Jordan, his last year, he was voted into the All-Star game. He came off he was a reserve, but then Vince Carter gave him the starting spot, but he was voted. There's nobody's helping you on the team. If you come off the bench, so what? So be it. Maybe the last few years you should have gave more of an effort and acted like you cared. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace. So anyway, man, Rich Paul has been making a lot of headlines. And as I said, we were on break, but yesterday we finally started to get into the swing of things. And we were catching up with what a lot of people were saying about Rich Paul over the last few days. Specifically, I was listening to my guys over there at All Ball TV. I know Fabian, there's another guy in the middle that he got like cornrows. Shout out to him, man. I like him a lot. I forgot, I just don't remember his name, but he said it. I just can't remember it right now. Anyway, shout out to them. So they were talking about it, and as they were talking about it, it gave me a lot of thoughts and stuff like that. Too Raw spoke about it. A bunch of people spoke about it, right? A bunch of people spoke about it. And the more that they've been talking about him with the comments that he made about Michael Jordan's shoes, in terms of the D-boys and these other guys making it popular instead of Mike, and people have a lot of things to say about Rich Paul as of late, right? So yesterday we did a live show reacting to some comments between Fat Joe and Rich Paul, because he went on their show, I believe Joe and Jada, their podcast. Shout out to Fat Joe and Jadakiss. So I was surprised to see him there, but nevertheless he was there. So I actually came across a clip from NBA Cinema that brought it to my attention. Prior to that, I had no idea that that went down. So we did a live about it. But to be honest with you, before we went live, I was like, man, if I wish I could have done a show about this, but it was too late. We'd already been done with work. So I was like, okay, we'll talk about it tonight, but tomorrow we can talk about it in a way where things are a little bit more organized and I can give you guys my thoughts instead of just being live and doing all that stuff. So what we want to do is we actually want to get into the sound of what these guys had to say to one another, Fat Joe and Rich Paul. So I want to play the audio for you guys. I want you guys to listen to Fat Joe kind of confronting Rich Paul and asking him like, yo, who's the GOAT? Like, give me an answer here. So take a listen to that, and then we'll come back and continue on. Take a listen to these guys.
You got to take a back seat. You got to fit in. You got to do this. If you want to break it down, you can take all 4 positions and name your top 5. He's in one of the top 5 in all 4 positions outside of center. So where's the fitting in at?
Yeah, but you say that now?
I said for the last 23 years. For the last 23 years.
Okay, let's cut the let's cut the to the pure. MJ, LeBron James, who's the GOAT?
Here we go. I'm so tired of this conversation.
No, this ain't a tired conversation.
How did we get here?
How
do we even here, Joe?
He suckered you in. He suckered you in. Him. He lined you up.
Man.
No, I'm here so
you
don't have to say this crazy
Well, I don't gotta say this. Who's the GOAT? Rich boy, you're here. Who's the GOAT? The mistake. He don't believe me. I'm outside. Maybe I'm talking to some other guys. When we get to the Jordan talk, yo, they used to call fouls. Yo, he used to play against white guys, Stockton.
It's a religious argument depending on the
you
age
got the
group
white guys
who you talking
busting everybody's ass right now. So what I'm trying to say is, who's the GOAT? That's all I'm saying. Can I get you on record? Is LeBron James, because you said for the last 23 years, he could be number 1 in every position.
I'm going to say what I always said.
Are you going to say he's better than Michael Jordan?
I'm going to say what I always said to this, Joe.
I would say Rich Play is the best coach in the universe.
Now, I'm going to say that for my show. But this is what I'm going to tell you on your show.
That for your show.
I'm going to tell you on your show. This is what I'm going to tell you on your show. You judge guys by what? The rooms that you in, right? Who come in the rooms that Joe's in? You don't let anybody in the rooms that you go into, right?
That's a super fact. But LeBron James is
But let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, Joe. Since you ain't paying me my publisher, I got nothing, whatever. But long story. Listen to this. What room can Mike go in that LeBron can't?
Listen.
I'm saying, and by the way,
I don't think you want the answer to
yes,
that.
I do. I want the answer.
Yo, that's MJ, man. This is a different type of...
But here's what I'm saying.
You know,
I'm asking you. See, until we get to...
I'm not saying that.
And I say that respectfully, though. That's not a...
Respectfully. Answer the question respectfully.
Ask the question.
Who's had sneakers selling for 30 years?
Listen, man. No one...
You keep jumping from topic to topic.
I'm not asking me. He's talking about rooms. Yo, Jada, he's talking about rooms.
Well, you're not answering the question.
I was a baby when Jordans came up. You can't get past.
That Space Jam man was number 2. Jordan was the number 1.
Yeah, but you can't, not sneakers.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
You can't, it's not fair to even say that.
You think LeBron is better than Michael Jordan?
He talking to him.
We on our show. We on our show. You think LeBron is better than Michael Jordan?
What are you talking about?
That's crazy of you. That's fucking
like the way he just said it.
I just
what
asked.
room can he go with?
Now.
He asked
now
you the
you
room.
Say it.
I think he can go in any room that he can go.
Think that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan?
He
Put it this way.
What room can he go in somewhere that he can't go in?
If you're on the basketball greatness elevator and you get on and there's key access.
No, LeBron is there.
What floor can he go to?
In my category, he's third. In my category, it opens up. Michael Jordan goes in. Then it actually goes up one flight before LeBron's and Kobe walks in. And then it goes up one flight and LeBron walks in. That's how I do it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
That's your opinion.
That's how you
He's
feel.
looking at me like I'm dizzy.
No, that's your opinion.
He's looking at me like, I know that's your bread and butter. You got to protect.
Put it this way. Let me do it another way. No, it's not my bread and butter. I built a real business. A real business.
No, you got a real business.
No.
So the elevator don't stop for you the same way it stops for me. In the GOAT, you said if they get in the GOAT, he's
what I was going to say to you is, what I'm going to say to you is, I'm talking about to the top floor. There's a key that takes you all the way up to the top floor. Kobe's go there, LeBron's go there, Mike, they all go to that floor.
Yeah.
You now don't get access denied.
Yo, Rich, let me tell you something.
Great. So you heard it. Now I can take my time and talk about this. Okay. First of all, as I said, I listen to a lot of people react to a lot of the things that Rich Paul has been saying. A lot of different creators. Some of them I can't even remember their names right now. And to begin with Fat Joe's question, Rich Paul came in there. I don't know if he was on his like bougie stuff. He tried to like slick talk, pimp talk him. And it wasn't working. It wasn't working on Fat Joe. When he said, who is the GOAT? And Rich Paul hit him with the, I'll say that on my show. And I'm going to say, it's like, so why did you come here? You came to our podcast. We're asking you questions. And you're like, no, I'm not going to answer it. Your question, I'm going to answer. Like, then why are you here? Number one. Number two, Rich Paul is being coy about answering this question when we already know what he thinks. One of the creators I listened to yesterday brought up this point, and I'd forgotten about it. After LeBron won that title in 2016, Rich Paul, I think, was out there screaming and losing his mind. And he said, Michael Jordan never did this. Michael Jordan never did. So you've been riding with LeBron. That is clearly your man. So why are you now all of a sudden so coy about saying, look, LeBron James is the greatest player definitively? If you listen to Fat Joe, he thinks Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. Right. And I gotta holler at my man, Sports and Fitness Rants, because he kind of got on me about this because he saw one of our shows where he was like, Fat Joe. Yes, Fat Joe and Jadakiss are rappers, but that doesn't mean they're not NBA fans. They're people that are bankers, whatever, policemen, firefighters, teachers, and they're also fans of sports. If you go to a stadium, if you go to a basketball game right now, you're going to find people doing every different kind of thing. So just because they rap doesn't mean that they don't know anything about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is basketball. And Sports and Fitness Rants is from New York, if I'm not mistaken. We know basketball in New York. You know that. Regardless of what you do, we argue basketball all the time in the barbershop, wherever you at, you're going to argue basketball. And to be honest with you, with the knowledge that Fat Joe had, for him to say like, yo, you bugging when it comes to this, that's what a lot of people will say, regardless of what you do, regardless of whether you rap, you sing, you're a teacher, whatever it is. So to me, Fat Joe stood on it. He stood on it. Then he hit him with, I get it, that's your man. And that's where your bread is buttered. And Rich Paul kind of got offended by that. Like, no, I started a business. And I think it's important to say, man, because they brought this up at All Ball TV. They brought up this point. There's no shame in saying that I had a once in a lifetime opportunity and I took advantage of it, meaning being the agent of LeBron James. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. There's no shame in it. Being the agent of LeBron opens a lot of doors. Half of the stuff that Rich Paul says, other agents can't say it and get away with it. But because you're LeBron's agent and the league has a special relationship with him, you're allowed to get away with it. It was just Kenyon Martin and these other guys and DeMarcus Cousins and like, yo, when you were talking about this guy coming off the bench and this and this and that and all these stuff about the Lakers, they were like, when have you ever seen an agent do this? When did it be cool for agents to do this? Well, you're only getting away with that because you're LeBron's agent. So Fat Joe wasn't dissing you. He was saying the obvious. You ride hard for LeBron because that's your man, which is a fact. Now, out of that, I'm sure you built successful businesses, but let's not get it twisted. And this is no diss to Rich Paul. Rich Paul seems like a smart dude in his own right. LeBron was going to be LeBron regardless. Regardless of who his agent was, he was going to be LeBron James. He was going to. But if you came into the NBA and you're an agent of an unknown player or some second round pick, are we having this conversation? No, we're not. This is a fact. So it's better you just embrace it. Be like, yeah, that's my man. So what? Yeah, LeBron helped me open up a lot of doors for myself because that's the facts. That's not a diss to say, oh, Rich Paul doesn't do his job. He's not smart. No one is saying that. But what Fat Joe is saying is also true. LeBron he's the golden goose. He's the golden goose. But at the end, when Fat Joe brought up the sciatica and all of that stuff, Rich Paul also set his goal for doing a podcast, which is basically to come out here and control the narrative. He said, I'm coming out here to set the record straight on LeBron James. My question is, when is David Falk going to open, David Falk, Michael Jordan's former agent, going to open up a podcast? Why is it y'all need a podcast to keep the story straight for LeBron and all these other players? So Rob Pelinka got to go do a podcast too for Kobe Bryant to get the record straight? Huh? Like, is this what we doing? Why can't it be we the fans, we judge the results and we come to our own conclusion? Why do you have to steer us in one direction or the other? Why? Why can't the results speak for themselves? Why? Why can't we come to the conclusion that, hey, this guy is the GOAT without you telling me he's the GOAT? Without you trying to implore me to say he's the GOAT? Why can't we decide that? This is what gets me with all of this. This is what gets me with all of this. This is what gets me with it. We done heard Kendrick Perkins say the Clutch Sports be calling him and all of these guys be calling him. And then Fat Joe asks you who's the GOAT. I don't want to answer that. Then you start talking about elevators and what is he talking about? Elevators and rooms and doors. Like, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on at this point. But it seems like a lot. LeBron got a podcast. You got a podcast. Like, yo, damn, son. Like, damn, we done seen you dudes for 20 years. Like, damn, son. Damn. How much we want? Like, how much? How much? When is enough? Golly, like y'all been here for a minute. And y'all still trying to ram this nonsense down people's throats. Like, yo, damn, son. Like, enough is enough, man. Enough is enough. Like, when is it enough? When is it enough, bro? When is it enough? But for as much as Rich Paul is a LeBron guy, you should have stood on it like, yo, LeBron is a GOAT. It is what it is. And then debated Fat Joe about it. Debated him about it. Debated him because Fat Joe wasn't backing down from that. Matter of fact, I think Jadakiss saved Rich Paul a lot in that interview. He saved him a lot. And I don't know why he did. That's why Fat Joe looked over at Jadakiss was like, you think he's, because he's like, yo, what's going on here? So where do you stand on all of this? I don't know, man. Rich Paul, I don't know. I don't know him, whatever, but y'all with this LeBron thing, man, my damn, bro. Like, y'all are 23 years, like, and y'all still trying to convince people son is the GOAT. Like, come on, man. Like, damn. Let the results be the results. We ain't got Michael Jordan's agent, Magic Johnson's agent. I don't know who he was or still alive, whoever, or Larry Bird or Hakeem Olajuwon and all of these guys coming out here. Rob Pelinka starting podcasts to let us know the record on all of their favorite the players they represented. Like, yo, when is enough, man? Like, when is enough with it? Y'all done been in the spotlight for 23 years and y'all still trying to hog it. So yesterday, as you guys know, the Lakers played against the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, I watched the game on and off, but prior to that game, I think we were live, and I said that the Lakers are going to win that game. The Pelicans are one of the worst teams in the NBA, right? They're amongst the few remaining teams in the league, I believe, that have yet to win 10 games. Think about that. They're there are 3 teams in the NBA that still haven't won 10 games. The Pelicans is one of them. So I thought the Lakers were going to win. I didn't really pay much attention to it because I knew it wasn't going to be competitive. I like when they play good teams. It's just better when you're watching competitive games. But the Lakers did what they were meant to do by winning the games that they were meant to win. And right now, the Lakers are back to the number 3 seed in the Western Conference. They've won 3 in a row and 6 out of their last 10 games. So they've been getting some good wins. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies 2 times, and then they beat, of course, the New Orleans Pelicans. And tonight, they're going to be playing against I believe tonight they're going to be playing against the San Antonio Spurs, and then subsequently they're going to be playing against the Milwaukee Bucks. So we'll see how they fare. But I also think they'll probably beat the Bucks. But anyway, that's just my take on things. But during the post game, JJ Redick, who has been making headlines, we did some lives during our break about it, but he's making some more headlines for the things that he said. Now, y'all know the whole narrative surrounding JJ's getting the Lakers job. Everyone says that the reason JJ Redick got that job is because of LeBron James, and essentially when LeBron made him his podcast partner on Mind the Game, or Game to Mind, which Ticket TV likes to call it. Game to Mind. Anyway, that's just so funny to me. That it was essentially a job interview. You had people like Stephen A. Smith who was furious because, this is undermining Darvin Ham. Nevertheless, that's the feeling out there, right? That JJ got that job because of LeBron James, and of course, you guys remember this summer the Lakers gave JJ Redick an extension, right? But throughout various points in the season, it looked like JJ Redick was trying to exert his dominance as a coach on the team. Then you had other people pushing back, like Kenny Martin and others saying, bro, nobody respects you. Then you had the thing when JJ said, practice is going to be uncomfortable. And then DeAndre Ayton came out there and said, y'all bought into that nonsense. So you have all of these different things going on, right? But JJ's making some headlines for some comments that he made at the end of the game during the press conference where he essentially said that, look, I'm LeBron's doormat, man. From time to time, LeBron can tell me to piss off and, call his own shots on the team, and I just have to fall in line. And I'm like, yeah, JJ just said that. This is definitely Pat Riley-like. So what we want to do is we're going to play what JJ had to say here. Take a listen to his comments here, and then we're going to come back and react to what he had to say. Take a listen to JJ Redick.
We knew that LeBron didn't have a ton of reps in the offseason because of his sciatica, and then no training camp, no preseason, missed 14 games to begin the year. Did you ever wonder, I might not have that version of LeBron this season and have to kind of be prepared to coach a different version of him? And if you did wonder it, is what you've seen from the last 10 games or so making you maybe recalculate things?
No, not recalculating. Because I know LeBron and I know how much he puts into this. I think it's just recognizing game to game what he has. He's Greg Maddux at the end of his career. Every night he doesn't have his best stuff, but he has enough to win. And you just got to, I'm his catcher. I've figured out, how to call the pitches. Sometimes he tells me to F off and he calls his own pitch, which is fine too. But it really is, to me, it's that. It's like, what's the best way to kind of utilize him tonight based on the opponent, based on the coverage, based on how he's moving. We have conversations sometimes in games. How's your 3-ball feel? Okay. All right. I'm going to run this off-ball play for you, or I'm going to, put you in this spot versus the pick and roll because I know that you'll end up with the shot. And it's really just that ongoing dialogue with him. To me, what he's doing at 41, what he did last year at 40, it's greatness. It's just a different form of greatness.
Excellent. So you heard his comments. What are my thoughts on what JJ said here? Well, there goes this whole thing of JJ trying to break through to the team and do all of this. It looks like LeBron's star power is just too much for him. And it's clear that, the incident that took place, I forgot the team that they were playing. Was it Memphis or one of those teams where LeBron was joking on the sideline and JJ was perturbed and was calling LeBron. LeBron just ignored him. That right there was the clearest example of this guy doesn't respect you. And Kenyon Martin brought up an astute observation, which is they view you as their peer. Now, in the case of LeBron, not only does he view you in terms of his peer, in terms of his age, but LeBron is looking at you like, I know more basketball than you, JJ. When they were having those Mind the Game podcasts, in LeBron's mind, we're not talking basketball. You're interviewing me, and I'm allowing you to chime in with some of your thoughts. You're the one holding the clipboard, not me. I'm the one sipping the wine here. So in LeBron's mind, he's like, I'm the A side. You're not dictating anything to me. LeBron just recently said, he never makes the wrong play. So if a guy that thinks he never makes the wrong play, he's going to look at you and feel like we're equals intellectually when it comes to basketball? Of course not. Now, what's surprising to me, and I think surprising to many people, is that you would openly admit this. Like, that's what's surprising. Even when Byron Scott was coaching Kobe in his twilight years, but Byron Scott is a different person, he wouldn't do all of this. He would admit, yeah, Kobe needs some concessions for rest and all that, but he wouldn't basically say, yeah, Kobe just comes out here and does whatever he wants and this and that. He wouldn't say it, even if that was the case. I don't know if that's the case or not, but he wouldn't say that. And JJ is a person that's trying to establish himself in the league. Byron Scott at least coached the Charlotte Hornets for some years, and they were not the Charlotte Hornets, the New Orleans Hornets, with Chris Paul in them. They were actually good, right? They were actually a good team. Who coached that New Jersey Nets team with Jason Kidd? Was it Byron Scott? Let me just Google this. I just gotta feel who was Jason Kidd coach in New Jersey. Was it Byron Scott? I think it was it. I think it was Byron Scott. I don't remember. I got to go back and check that out. It's been such a long time. This one, the Nets were the New Jersey Nets. I don't know why it just popped up in my mind all of a sudden. But anyway, yeah. So look, basically, JJ's giving it away. I'm not the boss here. LeBron is the boss. He calls the shots, and I'm just here to just torque it up and clap and jump whenever he says so. Well, this definitely is not reminiscent of Pat Riley, which is what these folks were talking about 2 years ago. Oh, this is the next Pat Riley. Yeah, that's definitely not Pat Riley like or Eric Spoelstra like. I got to say that as much.